When I'm wearing this shirt, you guys know that it's gonna be a good day. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever looked at the incredible battles of the Dinosaur King anime and wished to yourself that in the year of our Lord 2025, you could have those exact same battles with your friends? Have you ever wished of coming home after a hard day of school, college, university, or even work, hopping onto Discord with your most definitely existing group of friends, and having a friend group tournament on Dinosaur King? Have you ever wanted to play Dinosaur King online with your friends, your family, your enemies, or any sad old fuck who's willing to play it with you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today, in the year of our Lord 2025, you're in luck! Hey everyone, my name is Prince, and welcome to a very exciting announcement, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. Now, there are a lot of people in the Dinosaur King community that make it great. Whether it's pillars of knowledge like Mauslet, incredible artists like Prismatic Chaos, and of course, you can't forget the YouTubers like my good friend LP Gozzi, and of course, myself. But today, ladies and gentlemen, the Dinosaur King community got a new hero, and his name is Pale7567. Now, some of you may remember around about a year ago, I made a little bit of a breakthrough in terms of Dinosaur King DS connectivity, where I managed to get two versions of the game running on my PC at the same time and connect with one another, allowing me to make a pilot episode of a Dinosaur King DS battle series where I basically used a random number picker to pit the two different versions against one another. It was pretty janky, and for those of you wondering why I never made a follow-up to that episode, it was mainly just because it was pretty awkward and the video didn't really do as well as I'd hoped it would at the time. But that did happen. Well, Pale here has taken it one step further. No, ladies and gentlemen, this video right here is not clickbait, because Pale has found a way for all of us to be able to battle one another online on the Dinosaur King DS game. And this video is gonna tell you exactly how to do it. I'm sure you're all eager to get into this, so without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is go and download Melon DS, if you haven't already. If you've already downloaded Melon DS in the past, then make sure you have version 1.0 downloaded, as that is the easiest version to get this to work. If you have version 0.9.5, then definitely go and download this instead. Scroll down to here and click on Windows 64, obviously. For any of you peasants on Linux or Mac, we haven't tested it on those. I presume it probably works the same way, but as far as I know, it probably will not work between platforms. So if you're a Linux user, you probably won't be able to connect to someone on Windows, although again, we haven't tested that yet, so we're going to be going for the Windows installer. Download the zip file, extract it, you guys know how to do that, and then that will leave you with the folder. You open that up, and there is Melon DS, the application. Open up Melon DS, and you'll be greeted with a screen like this. Now you're going to want to head down into the description down below, and if you haven't already, join the Dinosaur King unofficial Discord. And while you're down there, you can also go join the casual Discord as well, as that way you can join my multi-fandom, ever-growing community, and not only will you be automatically notified whenever I upload, so you'll never miss a future video on Dinosaur King or otherwise, but you'll also be notified whenever I go live. I'm streaming 4 times a week right now, going on all sorts of live adventures, and I would really appreciate it if some of you guys would join me on some of these adventures. But in the Dinosaur King unofficial Discord, you're gonna want to go to the newly created DS Online chat. And in the pinned messages of that chat, there's gonna be a couple of files that you're gonna want to download. The first one is a OneDrive link, because I'm a broke motherfucker and I don't currently have Nitro, to the actual ROM of Dinosaur King DS. DS. This is basically the virtual equivalent of the little DS cartridges. This is what Melon DS is gonna open. You can download that from OneDrive and then go back onto Melon DS, go to File, and then Open ROM. From there, obviously, extract the folder and then navigate to it, and there is the ROM right there. Now, while you can actually find the ROM online, I definitely recommend just using the one that I've provided for two main reasons. Number one, a lot of ROM download websites can be a bit dodgy, and I don't want any of you guys accidentally downloading a virus. And number two, we actually found out while testing this that the EU and the USA version of the ROM have problems connecting with one another, and it's often not clear which version you're downloading on the ROM sites themselves. So if everyone just downloads this version, which is the USA version, then it's guaranteed that you're going to be able to connect to one another. But don't worry about it being the USA version if you're not from the USA. It literally doesn't mean anything. Anyone can play this. It's just that it seems as though the USA version is only compatible with the USA version. So go download that, and now we're ready to proceed. Now, the second file that's in the pinned messages is actually kind of optional, because not only did Pale manage to figure out this whole thing, Pale took the time to play through the entire story and get every single dinosaur and move card in a process that took him over 300 hours, resulting in a save file that has every single dinosaur leveled up to level 99 and every single move card available for use. Now, the reason I'm saying that downloading this save file is optional is because you don't actually have to have this save file to play online with people. The process works perfectly fine with a regular save file. Most of you are probably going to want to download this file, obviously, because you don't care about playing through the game, and all you want is to gain access to every dinosaur and battle your friends with them. But of course, if you just want to play the game normally and battle people online with the dinosaurs and the move cards that you have earned, then that option is there as well. You can do that. And the save files don't matter when connecting with one another, so you can connect with someone who has this save file when you don't. So this save file is completely optional. If you want basically a sandbox save file to play with every single dinosaur in the game, then you can go for the save file, and if not, then you don't have to. But just to let you guys know, you will need to do this process again if you either swap save files to the completed one or start a new one. So if you are going to use the save file, then you can go over to File, and then down to where it says Import Save File, you click on that, go to wherever it is that you've saved it, click on it like that, and then it will come up with the emulation will be reset and the current save file overwritten. That's what you want. Click OK, and then the whole thing resets, and you will have your completed save file ready. And obviously, if you're not using the save file, then you can just start a new save file and make your way past the tutorial to the point where you can access the D site for the first time, specifically the communications room, as that is what we're gonna need in order to do this. Now, once you've loaded in, if you've got your own save file, obviously you'll be in Europe. If you're using the 100% save file, you'll be here in Africa. It doesn't matter where you are as long as you're outside a D site. First of all, a couple of housekeeping things. By default, Melon DS will not have any controls set up, so you're gonna have to set those up. Go to Config and then Input and Hotkeys, and in order to replicate the DS controls the best I can, I've put up, down, left, and right as W, A, S, and D, and the 4 buttons as the arrow keys. But whatever works for you, you know, it doesn't matter. Just get it set up so that you can move and press the buttons comfortably. That's really all that matters. And to make sure everything looks as nice as it can, then make sure to go into Config and go to Video Settings and make sure that the internal resolution is as high as it can be. So now that you've got all of that sorted, we can get on to the Nintendo Wi-Fi portion of this. Now, I do want to make the point that this method is not 100% refined yet. It's been tested relatively thoroughly, and I've personally tested it with Pale to make sure that it works, and it does. However, we have also encountered an error here and there, which is why in the Dinosaur King unofficial Discord, I've also created the DS Online troubleshooting chat. So if you end up having any problems with this process, then you can go into that chat and see if you can get some help. But I'm just saying that this process isn't completely, refined yet. So there may be problems here and there, but we have quantified that it can and does work. But anyway, back to the tutorial. So what you're going to want to do is go over to the D side and go inside. Here, of course, you've got all the different options, and you're going to want to go down to communications room. Click on that and then click connect, and then go down to where it says Nintendo WFC setup. You click on that and then it'll save and it'll come up with this menu. You're going to want to go to options and then down to where it says erase Nintendo WFC configuration. Now, if that's not there for you, as it isn't here, then that's fine. This is basically just acting as a little bit of a reset. If it's there, then click it and it'll shut down the ROM, and then you'll open it back up and then go back to this page. If not, then you can back out of here and go to Nintendo Wi-Fi connection settings instead. And obviously, if you did have to erase the configuration, then this is still the next step. You're going to want to select connection 1 and then click search for an access point. It'll search for an access point and it should find one. There we go. Again, if you get any error messages during this whole process, don't immediately run to the troubleshooting chat, check that you've done all of the prior steps correctly, and if you have, then keep trying again. So click OK, obviously, and then it'll come up with connection settings have been saved, OK to start a connection test. You test the connection, and bam, connection successful. It won't always do that automatically, so don't worry if it doesn't do an automatic connection test. But the next step is to go back into connection 1, go down to where it says auto obtain DNS and click no. Here's where you put in the DNS, and it's going to be exactly the same for the primary and the secondary one. Now basically the code that you put in will connect you to a Nintendo Wi-Fi server, as I understand it. There are multiple of these, but the one that we've tested that we know works is the Alt WFC server, which has the following DNS: 172.104.88.237. And you put the exact same one into the secondary DNS as well. So once you've done that, click on save settings right here and then go test connection. Again, it doesn't matter if it's already done it before or if it hasn't. This is just a necessary step, and then bam, connection successful, and we're ready to move on. You're going to back out from all of this all the way through the D side until you get out of the D side. You're going to press whatever the X key is set up as and go down to the bottom here and press save your game like this, and then you're going to back out of that, make sure that it's saved correctly, and then you're actually going to close and reopen Melon DS. Load back in and then load back into your save file, and now we're ready for basically the final step. You're going to go into the D side again, and you're going to go to the communications room again, hit connect again, and this time you're going to go for the top option, Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. You're going to hit that, and then it's going to come up with some bullshit, online interactions not rated, It's going to give you the option to connect. You're going to press yes, and then it's going to say unable to connect to Nintendo Wi-Fi because the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection user information from the Nintendo DS and the game card do not match. Update Nintendo Wi-Fi connection user information saved on the game card, and you're going to, go through all of this. It doesn't matter. You're going to click yes, and then it's going to tell you a bunch more stuff, and then you're going to click yes again. It's going to connect to the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. You give it a moment. The little thing in the top right should turn green. Saving Nintendo WFC user information, and It's going to load topic data, and bam, you're in. So now you are connected and online. So basically, this is you set up. Now I'm going to show you how to connect with other people. You're going to back out of this and disconnect from Nintendo Wi-Fi, and you're going to back out again, and first of all, you're going to want to change your name. By default, the name should be set up as test file, but obviously you don't want that. This isn't actually, like, necessary. It's just something that you're probably going to want to do for simplicity's sake. I'm going to put my name as Prince, obviously. Bam, bam. And there we go. Now, at this point, you're gonna need someone who's already done all of these steps as well. You're gonna go up to Manage Friends. You're gonna click that, and you're gonna need to exchange friend codes. Your friend roster showcases all of the friends you have. That right there is Pale, because I was testing this with him the other night. But that's gonna be where all of your friends show up. What you're gonna want to do is that you and your friend need to register each other. Because this is back in the day, and you can't really just, you know, send a friend invite and it work for both of you, you're gonna have to add each other. So down here is your friend code that is unique to you, and your friend is gonna have to go to register friend, put in the name of your profile, and then put in your code. So say for instance that my friend's name was fucking Hobart.
That's Hogarth.
And then you put in their code, you know, whatever it is. Bam, 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 bam. Obviously, it's gonna come up that, you know, it's incorrect for me, but it shouldn't for you, and it should come up with that, you know, you've added the friend successfully. So do that for each other, you know, send your friend code and your name, and your friend does the same for you, and then you should have each other added on the friend roster. And then you can go to connect, you can go to Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, you need to connect again. Bam, you're connected, and then of course you go to battle, click a friend, and then you can either search for a player or recruit a player. One of you will click one, and the other will click the other. And just like that, you're battling online in Dinosaur King DS. And as I mentioned earlier, if we go into the Dino Room, this save file has every single dinosaur in the entire game on it, all leveled up to level 99, including the alpha dinosaurs, the super alpha dinosaurs, and yes, even the secret dinosaurs, every single one of them. And although most of you probably have, there are probably some of you watching this that haven't actually played this before. So quick crash course, basically you go to the Dino Room, click take dinosaur with you. These are your 3 slots for your team. You click on this, click load dino, pick whichever one you want. Let's go for, fuck it, Carcharodonto. Then you can back out of here, go to the X menu again, go to Dino Shot, customize dinosaurs, set moves, and then you go to your dinosaur and you have rock, paper, and scissors. Again, most people know that this is what Dinosaur King is in terms of gameplay, but if you don't, that is basically what Dinosaur King is. A high-octane elemental version of rock, paper, scissors where dinosaurs are kicking the shit out of one another. You've got rock, paper, and scissors, with one of these being the critical move that does more damage, and then you've got the hidden move, which will not be seen by your opponent until after you use it. There are different move cards for rock, paper, and scissors, but the hidden move can be any one for rock, paper, or scissors. You click set move, and then you have regular move cards that can be used by any dinosaur of any element, apart from secret dinosaurs, unfortunately, because 2 of the secret dinosaurs, Pachycephalosaurus and Therizinosaurus, have completely unique animation rigs, so they'd have to make 2 whole new animation rigs for all of the normal move cards for these 2 dinosaurs that most people didn't even have. Although that still doesn't excuse Megalosaurus and Deinonychus not being able to use normal type move cards, because they have the exact same rig as other fire and wind types. Then you have super move cards, which correspond to the element of the dinosaur that you're assigning them to. For example, Carchara is a fire type, therefore we have fire move cards, and then alpha moves as well. Each move does something different. Some are just flat out attacks, some of them inflict status effects, some of them have hidden abilities that only occur in certain circumstances, but all of them have an MP value, which is basically the cooldown of the move. High MP moves you can only use like twice or even once before the rock, paper, scissors sign that it's assigned to is locked until it recharges, so bear that in mind. So everyone, I think that's just about it for this tutorial. I don't have anything else to say other than go have fun. I might actually do a live stream as part of my Saturday game night where I spend a stream just battling against all of you. So if you don't want to miss that potential stream, then make sure to go join the casual Discord in the description down below. Leave a comment or even multiple comments, as that's what helps boost this video to the algorithm and we can get more people seeing that you can play Dinosaur King online. And I will see you on another video or stream very, very soon. Goodbye, everyone.